It is time to breathe again on the latest breath of fresh air, Shortie, with your host, Charles Taylor. So I'm sounding a little bit subdued on this episode because I have to come on here, live up to the reputation of this show. What the reputation of the show, or part of the reputation of this show, is we come on here, whether it is Patrick Brackett or myself, we come on here and we represent for our teams through thick and thin, win or lose. So here I am living up to that expectation. Well, on both fronts, more on the NFL front in a minute, but I want to start with college football. And I have a trash can right next to me, so if I start vomiting in during the course of me giving props to the Oklahoma Sooners, y'all know why. It makes me sick to have to do this, but I don't have much of an issue doing it, especially if the team I'm talking about, and in this case, my Texas Longhorns hated rival Oklahoma Sooners, I have no problem coming on here and saying the better team won. Oklahoma played the cleaner game in terms of turnovers, and they were more often than not uh, the more physical team on both sides of the line of scrimmage. They were able to make things difficult for Quinn Ewers in the passing game. Our running game, we got some things going with Baxter and Brooks. We probably should have ran the ball a little bit more, but Oklahoma did not make that easy. And even with that, even with the turnovers being in Oklahoma's favor, we still probably should have won the game. That's what really hurts because we were up 30-27 with a minute, like less than a minute and a half to go. But give Dylan Gabriel and that Oklahoma offense credit for making the throws, moving down the field very quickly, and getting the touchdown pass in the back of the end zone with about 15 seconds to go. So Oklahoma won 34-30, and again, they look good. They look strong. And I mean, I did say even though I had us winning 38-27, I did say Oklahoma was going to show up. They remember what happened last year in the Red River shootout. Yes, I know it's the Red River rivalry. I know that's the technical name for it, but again, I can't call it that. So but they remember what happened when they got beat 49-0. And as for Dylan Gabriel, he didn't get to play in that game because he was in concussion protocol. So he missed the Red River shootout last year. And boy, did he come in and do a number on us. He threw for about 280, 285, ran for about 110, 115. I think 112, 113 yards off the top of my head is what he ran for. If I'm a little bit wrong on that, go ahead and correct me on the comments. But either way, Dylan Gabriel had a huge, huge game against us and played a clean game without turning the ball over. And again, the Oklahoma team played. They had the cleaner game and they were more physical than us more often than not at the lines of scrimmage. So they deserve this win. Good win on them. Congratulations to Oklahoma and their fans. And if Jonathan Morgan is watching, you remember Jonathan would come on with his comments, always talking mess during the live shows, which will be back soon. But he's always coming on there talking mess. I'm sure if we had a live show, he would be blowing the comments up with crimson and cream paraphernalia, comments going off all over the place. And he deserves it. He deserves to be able to talk that mess. So, Jonathan, to you and the Oklahoma fans and their players and their coaches, congratulations. Y'all look like y'all have a really, really good team up there. And I hope we can meet again in the Big 12 championship game. And I guess that would be our last go around in the Big 12 before we head off to the SEC come 2024. So, again, good win for Oklahoma. Congratulations to them. This is me showing up regardless, win or lose. Here I am. I'm still going to represent the Longhorns. I'm still going to throw up the hook'em horns But for this week and for this edition of the Red River Shootout, it belongs to Oklahoma, and congrats to them. Moving on to the NFL part, which is the good part of the weekend, I was so happy to see my San Francisco 49ers smash, absolutely crush the Dallas Cowboys 42 to 10. Now, let's throw these numbers out here real quick, or actually just one number in particular. The 49ers scored 42 points. That is more than what the Cowboys have given up combined to their first four opponents. So, you can sit here, we could do the math. Let's look at it if you don't believe me. Again, the 49ers scored 42 points. The New York Giants were shut out against the Cowboys. The New York Jets scored 10 points. The Arizona Cardinals scored 28 points. Ran all over the Cowboys that game, too. And the New England Patriots were held to 3 points. So, doing the math, 3 plus 10 plus 28, that is 41. And the 49ers scored 42. So, more on the Cowboys defense, that vaunted defense, in a minute. But this is about the 49ers just being good. They are a team that is ready to compete for the Super Bowl. They have been knocking on the door for the last few seasons. Of course, in 2019, they made it to the Super Bowl, almost won against the Kansas City Chiefs, but couldn't hold the lead. And the last couple of seasons, they were in the NFC Championship game, losing a close one to the LA Rams and losing to the Philadelphia Eagles last year, 31 to 7. And of course, we know Brock Purdy got knocked out of the game. But I mean that front was really nasty, and who knows what could have happened. It would have been interesting to see what happened if Brock Purdy was able to stay healthy. Hopefully, he can stay healthy this time around, and we'll see. Hopefully we'll get to find out that answer going forward. But Brock Purdy was on point with his passes all through the game, hitting dimes through the middle to Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel. Um, George Kittle had 3 touchdown catches, and so did the fullback, Kyle Juszczyk. It's just 49ers just have so many weapons, and the Cowboys actually did a pretty good job on Christian McCaffrey. He didn't get loose. He had a touchdown in the game, but it's not like he had 100 yards rushing or anything. But hey, Mason got some good runs, and so did Davis Price. So the 49ers were still able to move the ball, but it was mostly the passing game over the running game. And the 49ers defense, those linebackers, man, Fred Warner, Dre Greenlaw, they cover a lot of ground, forcing fumbles, getting interceptions, always hustling. That defense is for real. You talk about a top defense, that's a top defense, what the 49ers have. As for the Cowboys, look, you have to do what you normally do and go back to the drawing board. There was so much that was put onto this game. Everybody down in the DFW area, of course, talking about how they want revenge on the 49ers. They want to show that they are ready to be a threat to go to the Super Bowl by beating the 49ers. And we know San Francisco has knocked them out 2 years in a row from the playoffs. And the Cowboys did worse, way worse than they did in those 2 playoff games. And look, Micah Parsons is starting with the 2-star players for the Cowboys. Micah Parsons, he didn't do anything in the game. He didn't get his quarterback hit. He didn't get a quarterback sack. He didn't do anything in the game. And too many times when it comes to the bigger games, Parsons really doesn't do that much. It's not that he's a non-factor, but he's close. And for everybody to put him up here like he's the best thing since sliced bread, the best defensive player ever, like you've been hearing, getting comparisons to Lawrence Taylor, he's not there yet. And it's okay to acknowledge that. He's not at that point yet. And if he can't make plays against the elite teams, he's not going to get there. Good player. I'm not hating on Micah Parsons. I think he's a very good player. Just not Hall of Fame good yet. That's all I'm saying there. And Dak Prescott, he does what Dak Prescott does. He plays better defenses. He struggles. He threw 3 interceptions against the 49ers. And this is what the 49ers wanted. They wanted to get a lead and put the ball in his hands because they didn't think he could beat them consistently. And sure enough, it didn't happen. So go back to the drawing board, Dallas. and see what you can do. Maybe you can get better toward the end of the season, but for now, yeah, you're probably a notch below. You're definitely a notch below the 49ers, and you're probably a notch below the Philadelphia Eagles as well in the NFC. Hell, I don't know if y'all are better than the Detroit Lions or Seattle Seahawks right now, but that's another conversation for another day. Until then, that is what I'm breathing on for today. Y'all make sure y'all check out the Breath of Fresh Air YouTube channel. Smash that subscribe button and keep the likes coming. No, not the likes. Follow the Breath of Fresh Air Facebook page. Until then, everybody keep an eye on the MLB playoffs. Very exciting times there. And until next time, y'all take care. Have a great rest of the week. See you later.